Alright, boys and girls, well today we're going to try to do something that I haven't done for approximately 3 years or so, and that is mow with a Sears Suburban. As you can see, grass is in need of mowing. So, if we just kind of back our way on over here to the tent, you'll see we have the 1969 Hydra 12. And that is hopefully going to be running that right there 42-inch mower deck, which is green, which is wrong, but fuck it. So we'll probably have to start the little diesel here in a minute to make room, and then we'll go get the hydro, and then we'll see if we can't cut some grass with a Suburban. All right, so the first thing we got to do is get the 8XL out of the way. So this is going to be a cold start. Now that we're getting more towards winter, obviously not cold yet, but I got to see about putting a glow plug in this thing, but we'll see. So cold start, not in gear, decompression is set, fuel's set. It's cold, I promise. See, it's already getting fuel. Usually it's 3 pulls. See if it makes a liar out of me. Yep. Come on, you turd. Alright, only 5 pulls. Alright, step 2. We gotta obviously start the Hydra 12. This is gonna be a cold start since Saturday. Give it some throttle, some choke. Alright, so here's the deck. Now this deck is a little bit foobar. Let me just get it out here, we'll take a better look. Alright, well, one thing that I neglected to do ever since I got this thing was check the oil on it, and to my surprise and disappointment, there's not a ton of oil in it, and it could definitely stand to be changed. So, because of that, change the oil on it. Funny story about these vice grips. The rear wiring harness ground on my truck went, and pretty common thing to have happen on that body style GM truck, and because of that I wound up using these vice grips to hold my ground on for about 15,000 miles. So vice grips are not to be underestimated, people. Anyway, I'm gonna get this oil changed here, and then we'll be back. Alright, so we got the oil changed, good to go. Now I gotta put the deck on. It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these decks. These arms go on top, the bottom ones go on the bottom, and then something goes, oh yeah, and then this pin goes in the back. Yeah. Cool, alright, let's fire together. Now earlier in the video I said this deck was foobar, and then I couldn't exactly remember why, but here's why. At some point in time, somebody messed with the lift linkage on it, because this style deck I believe should be compatible with a, a tractor that has the full footboards the way this one does. However, as you can see, that is not the case. So that means that, and I swore I almost wasn't going to put that earlier clip in because I was looking at it and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, but this mechanism has been moved at some point, and you can see here those are not original welds. Those are definitely not original welds. So it means that at some point somebody was in here and kind of made her go, Joe. So I guess that means that I'm gonna have to put newer style mower deck mounts on it, and I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, because this has the PTO, but not the earlier or the later style mounts. So if I'm ever gonna mow with this thing, which I really want to do because it's kind of what I bought it to do, we're gonna have to switch some stuff around on it. Okay, plan B. All right, so we're down here in the parts department. Every time I come down here, I forget that I need to turn the light on. Hang on. Okay, so we're here at the parts department, and we need mower deck stuff. So there's one. Use that one. We'll do the pedal upgrade. That should work. And then, oh, I should have a rear deck mount from the Hydro, which might be back up in the garage. Oh, nope. What do we got here? Small miscellaneous. Oh, no, that's all stuff from the other Hydro 12. Alright, well, this is a good start. We'll get this stuff. We'll go and see what we got. I should have stuff off the Hydro that'll go on it. Alright, so that's the rear deck mount from the Hydro, and now we got to slap everything together. Alright, well, it's about an hour and a half later, and it was a complete pain in the dick, but it's done while the mower deck mounts are in place. Front one's bolt up, no problem. Back one's different story. So I guess the best thing to do would be to show you that on a tractor that came from the factory with the newer style scissor deck, you see that gap right there where it's like notched out of the footboard a little bit? Guess what doesn't have that? The older machines. And guess what you need if you want to run a scissor style deck? You have to have that mount. So unfortunately, and I know some of you are probably going to cry about it, but whatever, I did have to notch the footboard slightly in order for the mount to fit. Right now, just the back bolt holding it on. It can't move forward because it's resting on the footboard, and it's a tight fit anyway, so I'm just going to leave it with the one. The next thing I got to do is Kyle's on his way over, and he's going to have a bushing that's going to go here with a longer bolt. Then we're going to have a little PTO pedal action. But the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to have to get all these tractors out so that we can get the mower deck, which is in the back, which is just yet another thing to do just so I can frickin' mow grass with this thing. But it'll be worth it in the end. That's what I keep telling myself. So we are progressing. However, it is getting darker, slowly. All right, this is going to be a cold start on the Suburban 10. This has been sitting, I don't remember the last time it ran, probably 3 weeks or so, if not a little bit more. of the big tractor. Same thing. Hasn't been started in a while. And here she is, the 42-inch scissor mowing deck, which hasn't seen the light of day for like 3 years. This thing came with my original SS16. It's tight, it's quiet, it's not rusted, it's in phenomenal shape. It's got gator blades on it right now, which we'll probably just leave on there for the time being. And anyway, so we're gonna get this out, bolt a couple things on it back together, and then it's time to go on the hydro. Well, boys, today we were victorious, mostly. I think I'll probably wind up including all of the video segments leading up to this, but here's the mostly finished product. We got the mower deck on. We went for a test run, and the Hokey muffler that was held on using an aluminum coupler that was junk anyway decided to fail, so we put a stack on it because we figured that would quiet it down the most. I did watch Rooney's video. He's got a video on how to put a new style deck on an old tractor. I'll just kind of take you through what I had to do on this one. Alright, I haven't ever done this on anything other than this hydro, so I don't know if this applies to non-hydros as well, but for what it's worth, the front mower deck mount bolts up, no problem. This guy and that guy. The rear's different story. The first thing you got to do is you got to notch the footboard to fit the little bump out there in the bracket. Then the next thing you got to do is, there it is. You got to notch the bracket there so that it clears the fan. And then I haven't done this yet, but you're going to have to drill another hole there and obviously double bolt it, or use both holes rather, and then it's fine. The issue is that the scissor lift mechanism is 19 inches spaced on center between the pins, and if you were to use the existing holes, it's like 17 and a half or 18 or so, so it just won't work. So that's what we had to do to get the deck on. And then once the muffler failed, we just went to the hardware store and got some good old trusty 1-inch pipe fittings. And this piece was already on the engine, so we got a coupler, a 3.5-inch nipple, a 90, and then there's a 3-inch nipple going up into the muffler. It's a AC1 Tractor Supply, and then I cut it down a little bit so it's not so freaking tall. I think it looks pretty good on there. Sounds good too. Give you a quick startup. This thing's running weird again. The last thing I got to do is we're also converting it to take the PTO pedal off the GT18. We're going to use this bolt here, obviously going to have to extend it. That's a 3/8. This is a 9/16 ID, so we got to get a bushing to go between there and a longer bolt, and then we'll be in business. But this is going to be the mowing tractor, and hopefully it holds together. The motor's got a little blow by, which I didn't notice until I ran it pretty hard a couple days ago, but you know, it needs a new drive belt, this and that. But anyway, that's the long and convoluted end to my long and convoluted video, so hopefully we'll get some mowing videos in now that we got it. And then we got to get going on the other one, but that's another video for another day. So as always, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.